Hi there guys, this is Peter Cannon, photographer from Melbourne once again with a wee tutorial this time about the exposure triangle. Now this triangle you see in front of you here is a very important aspect with regards to understanding the use of the camera and how the camera operates. Of course, a camera has a shutter, so we have shutter speed, we have the aperture, a diaphragm and a lens which opens up or closes down to let more or less light in through the lens. We have ISO, which is the sensitivity rating of the colour sensor on our camera. So if we have a high ISO like 1600 or 2500 ISO, we let a lot more light into the camera, but we also increase the grainy nature of our photo. If we have a low ISO, then our resolution is quite fine. With regard to shutter speed, a high shutter speed like 1/2000th of a second, of course, will stop moving anything in motion, but we might want to use a slow shutter speed, such as at night time, to shoot a long exposure like 10 seconds or 20 seconds. So given that all these three control the exposure on the camera, understanding how they work with each other is an important aspect. If of course we are shooting on what I call the semi-automatic modes like shutter priority, then we are setting the shutter speed. Often we'll also set the ISO, but the camera then chooses the aperture, so we've got less control over what aperture is being set. Again, if we're shooting an aperture priority, then we've probably set the ISO, we're then selecting the aperture, and the camera is determining what shutter speed it's going to use. So we aren't fully in control. We have some controls on those semi-automatic modes, but the best and most creative option is to know how to use them all with each other and therefore be able to use the camera on manual. So getting your head around this exposure triangle is a really important thing. So do read up all you can on this exposure triangle and how ISO, shutter speed and aperture all relate to each other. It is a very important thing to get your head around. Once you do, you'll be away. Thanks guys, bye for now.